You know the feeling. You turn the key and nothing happens. Whether you are stuck on the side of the road in a downpour or stranded in your own driveway right before work, a broken down car is an immediate schedule wrecker. The standard reaction is to start making calls. You pay for a tow, watch it get hauled off, and surrender it to a lot, where it might sit for days before anyone even looks at it. Then comes the waiting room. You sit under fluorescent lights, waiting for a service advisor, not the actual mechanic, to hand you a diagnostic report packed with expensive recommendations you cannot easily verify. An alternative model is gaining traction. Independent mobile mechanics, like the Houston-based FlexFix, bring the tools and the expertise directly to your location. Deciding between these options comes down to evaluating whether the high costs and logistical headaches of a brick-and-mortar shop are actually required for your specific vehicle problem. This chart maps options. The horizontal axis measures convenience, the vertical measures trust. Dealerships and chain shops land in the inconvenient zone, their trust levels bouncing due to upselling quotas. Mobile mechanics maximize convenience, and speaking directly to the mechanic pulls trust upward. The core dilemma is whether trading the shop for the driveway means sacrificing technical competence. Can a mechanic working out of a truck actually fix a complex problem, or are you paying for a house call that cannot finish the job? To answer that, we have to drop the assumption that a massive concrete building automatically guarantees a higher level of diagnostic skill. The math changes before any repairs even start. If your car will not start, calling a mobile unit completely eliminates the cost of a tow truck. Instead of paying opaque intake fees at a dealership, you deal with flat rates. FlexFix, for example, charges a $60 mobile diagnostic fee to drive out and locate the problem. That diagnostic work happens exactly where the car died. They dispatch to suburban driveways, office building parking lots, and public meetup spots. But you are providing the workspace. You need a legally accessible, reasonably safe environment. A quiet, flat driveway works perfectly. A dangerously narrow highway shoulder with cars flying past does not. You are also working within their schedule. Top-rated mobile mechanics book up through appointments, meaning middle-of-the-night emergency rescues depend entirely on their immediate availability. You trade the guaranteed 24-hour drop box of a dealership for targeted, location-specific service. You save money on the tow, as long as your vehicle is parked in a workable spot. Even in a perfect driveway, it is easy to worry that a mechanic without a shop lacks formal training. Verifying certifications is your baseline. FlexFix operates with official Ford Lincoln factory technical credentials. That level of documented, manufacturer-specific training is exactly what you should look for before booking a mobile operator. With those credentials, a mobile mechanic easily handles routine maintenance, zeroes in on tricky electrical faults, swaps out starters, and repairs suspension systems right on the pavement. These specific systems account for a significant portion of daily driving complaints and sudden no-start headaches. This diagram illustrates the physical limits of the mobile setup. Heavy components like the engine block and transmission require heavy infrastructure. Without a multi-ton hydraulic lift, they focus on accessible components like brakes, starters, and suspension, avoiding full engine swaps or transmission teardowns. Legally, if your brand new car has a failure covered under a manufacturer warranty, you still have to let the dealership process the claim, regardless of the independent mechanic certifications. These certified mobile units provide a solution for the routine and emergency repairs that make up the bulk of daily service needs, provided the job doesn't require a structural lift. Inside a traditional dealership, you rarely speak to the mechanic. You talk to a service advisor, a middleman often financially motivated to upsell parts. Independent mobile operators strip that layer away. They rely entirely on local reputation, verified online reviews, and direct face-to-face interaction to keep their schedule full. Removing the service advisor's commission structure shifts the focus toward identifying the root cause of a problem, rather than reaching a monthly parts replacement quota. This chart highlights a specific scenario from recent customer data. A driver was told they needed a $200 suspension compressor. A mobile mechanic diagnosed the real issue, a $10 blown fuse. That level of honesty generates intense loyalty, which means a good mobile mechanic's calendar is consistently packed. The financial advantage goes far beyond the low diagnostic fee. You save hundreds of dollars by completely avoiding the markup on parts you never actually needed. Choosing the right service model depends entirely on what exactly went wrong under the hood. This flowchart begins with the heavy infrastructure path. If you have a blown engine, severe frame damage, or an active factory warranty, you have to absorb the cost of a tow truck and surrender the vehicle to a traditional shop. But if you are looking at routine maintenance, worn brakes, an electrical fault, or a car that simply will not start, you call the mobile mechanic. There is no tow required, and the issue gets resolved right where the car sits. Defining the scope of your mechanical failure dictates which service model makes logistical and financial sense. Services like FlexFix trade the massive concrete footprint of a traditional shop for extreme agility and direct transparency with the consumer. If you are a professional who cannot leave your car in a dealership queue for days just to get the brake pad swapped, this model fits your schedule perfectly. If you are stranded in a parking lot with a dead starter, having an expert arrive, diagnose the fault, and fix it on the spot waives the towing fee and rescues your entire day. And if you are exhausted by aggressive upsells, you get the psychological relief of working face-to-face with the mechanic who is actually turning the wrench. A certified mobile mechanic is a highly specialized tool for routine maintenance and sudden breakdowns. It is the most efficient, cost-effective, and honest route back onto the road.